Now that, ladies and gentlemen, was what you call a statement win. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another recap reaction for the Winnipeg Jets, game 24 out of 82 in the 21-21-2022 NHL season, where they dominate the Maple Leafs in a very awesome, crazy game that was also Blake Wheeler's 1,000th career NHL game, and win by a score of 6-3. And before we get too far into this video, I just gotta say, I hate Leafs fans, and I know not all of you are bad, and I hate saying that because I know that not every fan is bad, and there's always a large percentage of the fan group that is really good for every team, regardless of how, hated or whatever the situation might be with that team and their organization and wherever league they play in. But Leafs fans are just some of the worst, saltiest, rudest, most disgusting fans I've ever seen on social media. Take a look at these examples. And how could you not try to lump everybody into one category as Leafs fans of just being scummy? Because look at these comments. Like, that's just terrible. Terrible. Like, I'm just disgusted by that type of behavior. Like, this is sports. You want to get trash talk? Go for it. You want to trash talk a player? Go for it. Wishing harm? Serious injury? For what? Just for a laugh? And you think it's funny? You all are disgusting. Like, seriously, Leafs fans. You want to lose? Lose with some dignity. Oh, you've been doing that already for 50 years already, so, maybe keep that up. But this was a joke, watching that today on social media. And I know not all of you are that bad, but I saw a lot of Leaf fans tonight that I actually thought were pretty good Leafs fans and I thought respectable, that were kind of jumping out on this stuff. And I'm sorry, but if you have two pairs of eyes and you think that the Leafs were were the victims tonight, check yourself into a hospital. Moving away from that, though, let's talk about this game, because like I said, Blake Wheeler's 1,000th career game. I'll throw up some photos right now from the game. Really, really great ceremony that they held, a really good tribute for him. A big Buff and Brian Little sighting on the video tribute. When I saw Bufflin, I screamed a little bit, and I was at home, so I can only imagine, like I heard on the TV, how loud it got in there, because that was awesome. I also love seeing Brian Little in there. I really hope that Little can play like one game and then retire or something like that. He deserves to go out with at least one more game and a proper send-off by this franchise. It's bad enough we lost Bufflin without a proper send-off, and same with Brian Little. Blake Wheeler is obviously getting all this attention for being one of the OG guys and a face of the franchise, because he definitely is. But Buff and Little have done their part on paving the way for the Jets to get to where they are today, and I would love to see them get a little bit of respect when they finally end up retiring. In Bufflin's case, already is retired. But a great ceremony and a pretty good start to this game. The Jets come out, it looks pretty good, evenly paced. They get a power play, and that's something that the Jets did tonight actually well. Can you believe it? The Jets had a good power play tonight. They were 3 for 5 on the power play. They had 3 power play goals, coming from a team that couldn't even score 1 goal on 46 shots against the Arizona Coyotes less than a week ago. This was a great win and a statement win. Obviously, the Toronto Maple Leafs were coming off of a back-to-back performance against the Minnesota Wild, where they lost. And yeah, that's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, I get that, but they really just came out of the gate a little slow, and the Jets were buzzing. All of the Jets' goals tonight that were scored were really high-skill goals, and how I've been saying that the Jets don't get a lot of high-danger opportunity, and they're taking really low-scoring chances and shots. That's why the shot counts have been so high and the lack of goals. Tonight, the Jets were taking really high-danger shots and scoring on them, and they had great scoring throughout the game. Pierre-Luc Dubois on the power play for the first from Blake Wheeler in his 1,000th game, and Mark Scheifele, really good goal there. I really like the setup from Blake Wheeler to PLD. Then Michael Bunting scores on the power play for the Leafs. He makes it 1-1, obviously, and that's the only goal scoring that you're going to have for that first period. But yeah, the Leafs were so loud in the stadium today, and it was hilarious because they started off this game so loud. When that Bunting goal went in, they were freaking out. It sounded like they were half of the stadium was Leafs fans, and I can tell you one thing, by the end of that game, you couldn't tell there were any Leafs fans in there because they were quiet as a church mouse. And I love seeing that, because Leafs fans, you are all a bunch of assholes. But moving away from that, I thought that the Jets played a pretty good first period. I thought that there were some moments where they were a little bit, taken advantage of by a faster Leafs team, especially Blake Wheeler on that top line. But again, that's not knocking on Blake Wheeler. It's just because the Leafs have a very fast, youthful top 6 that can take advantage of teams that don't have that equal speed. And even though the Jets have players that are that fast, as a line, they weren't the fastest tonight. But that's okay, because they still were able to put up points and play a good game. Like I said, I'm not going to rip on Blake Wheeler because he was slow, because my problem isn't that Blake Wheeler's slow. My problem is that I felt for a long time during his struggles he was being misused and put into a role to fail. I love Blake Wheeler. I've made that very clear in every video. So I'm not going to rip on the guy even though he was slow, because he had a good game on other areas of the ice. He's not going to be some perfect 5-on-5 machine anymore. That's not his game, and he had a good game tonight. So yeah, Blake Wheeler, congratulations on 1,000 points, and I thought you had a pretty damn good game tonight. But yeah, that second period, going into that, it gets a little bit more chippy. Copp makes a really good power move, takes on, what I believe, 3 Leaf defenders from the blue lines and brings it in hard and scores a goal to make it 2-1. And then you get back-to-back 2-man rushes with Evgeny Svechnikov and Mark Scheifele and Kyle Connor, I believe, in the first one. They whiff on it and don't get the scoring opportunity. And then the fourth line, which had a great game today, like I said, depth scoring and opportunity, they come back and they score to make it 3-1, and Evgeny Svechnikov, baby, the hot dog man, Mr. Your Captain Speaking. I don't even know the other nicknames we can call this guy. Probably everyone's favorite Jet this season. Makes it 3-1, getting ahead of myself there in the notes, because after he scores that, you get another amazing snipe, where I'm pretty sure I saw that it was potentially over 100 kilometers an hour on that, 100 miles an hour, on the radar gun on that shot. An absolute rocket snipe from Kyle Connor that no one even thought was in. They had to actually review. The light went on, but it was in and out so quickly because it was so fast and deadly. And again, the Jets are dominating that second period. They really come out scoring quickly and playing a fast game of hockey. They get the Copp goal, the Svechnikov goal, the Connor goal, but then, believe it or not, you get another goal from Nikolai Ehlers in that period from Copp and Schmidt. Another beautiful snipe, really well-placed goal, and the Jets are on top by a large margin. But then what happens is that you have the Leafs coming back on the power play. Austin Matthews gets a really good opportunity on the power play on one where I didn't really think it was deserving. The first one, 5-on-4, yes. The Blake Wheeler one was more of just really bad luck and, in the right place at the right time for that Leafs player that got tripped up. He perfectly stepped on the skate, got it tied in just the right angle where it was not even intentional, just an accident. But again, you have to call stuff like that. It just sucks that it had to have been called on Blake Wheeler in a situation when you're already on the penalty kill. So the Austin Matthews gets it from Tavares and Nylander. He buries that for his 15th of the season and makes it makes it a very close, not a close game, but the Leafs are back into it. But then what happens is Andre Case comes in, he scores his 6th of the year from Sandin and Hull, and that's kind of where things are like, okay, are the Leafs going to crawl back into this? It's 5-3. How is it going to go? I don't know. No one really did, because even though the Jets were playing good, the third period showed up and the Leafs were ready to draw blood and the fan base was screaming for it. There was a lot of stuff in this game that was ugly, and it got into a really, really ugly game in that third period. You could say it was ugly throughout the entire first and second and third, but in my opinion, the third period is where the Leafs really were like, you know what, let's get out there and draw some blood, and I didn't really like that, because they could have gotten back into this game. Instead, they didn't. They played a really weird game where they were trying to fight everyone and do a lot of hits and play physical, and the Jets just were able to outlast them in that department, and everyone's going to say, oh, blah, 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 Wayne Simmons and this and everything like that. If you think that Logan Stanley was hiding behind anybody, the referees jumped in and literally took punches from Wayne Simmons because they jumped into the middle of a fight. So you're going to tell me that Logan Stanley was relying on refs to break up a fight when the refs are literally getting punched because they're jumping in the middle of a scrum? That's not anyone. That's on Wayne Simmons and that's on Logan Stanley, because they could have kept fighting. Like, the NHL does this constantly now where they jump in and you're going to say they're protecting because one guy's Wayne Simmons and you're a Leafs fan, and the other you're Logan Stanley, you're a Jet? Like, give me a break. Do you know nothing about the sport of hockey? Well, of course you know. You're a Leafs fan. I forgot about that. Let me even just skip over that. No point of wasting my time on you. But either way, the Leafs play a dirty third period. I don't like it. I think it's a very scummy game that they played, and it showed because they weren't able to get anything going for themselves. They kept it 5-3. No one was scoring anything. They had power play opportunities, didn't do anything with it, and then you had Mark Scheifele come in from Connor and Pionk on an absolute rocket with about 12 minutes left in that game. His 6th of the year. Mark Scheifele has been on fire the last couple of games. His last game he had 4 points, and today Mark Scheifele was even more on fire, you could argue, with how consistent he was playing all throughout the lineup. He had 2 points tonight. Really, really good game from Mark Scheifele. I really liked his play tonight, and I know I've been critical of him, and that's fine. I'm supposed to be critical because I'm a fan. It's what we all do. But nonetheless, I liked everyone's game tonight. Yeah, there were flaws within it, yes. But this wasn't a team outscoring their opponent to win a game. This was their team scoring really good goals, taking advantage of scoring opportunities and high-danger opportunities, and capitalizing, something the Jets have struggled to do. The last game was more of opportunistic scoring and a little bit of lucky bounces. They had a lot of problems. Don't tell me that they would have had a great statement win last game, because this was the statement. You play the Leafs, who were red hot going into this, have been very, very good team consistently down the stretch, in November especially, And now, they set actually an all-time record in November for wins, I believe, for the franchise. So that says how good they've been in this month. And you come in, and this is the statement win. The Devils are in a statement win. You're up 3-0, and you allow 4 unanswered goals to make it 4-3. Yeah, you won the game, but again, Bernier got pulled, and some bad goals were scored. This is the statement win. Now you go in to play Carolina, which I believe will be on Tuesday. And that's going to be the tough matchup for the Winnipeg Jets, without question, in my opinion. You're going to have to play Carolina in a tough matchup. Again, they'll be playing on Tuesday, on the 7th is the next game, and that's going to be another big statement when Carolina's a good team. They're 16-6. They need to beat Carolina, or at least show up and put up a damn good fight, because that's going to be these 2 games are the big test. If the Jets can kind of rebound from where they've been, see if they can stabilize this core and try to win with the coaching and what they have now. If they can, so be it. But if things are mediocre and they struggle, I still want change. In the end of the day, all I want are the Jets to win. And if Paul Maurice is what gets them a cup, I won't complain. But at this moment, I still think there's a better coaching options out there, and that's just my opinion. You're allowed to have a different one. So with all that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, what did you like about this game? What did you hate about this game? I always love reading your comments and hearing your thoughts on the NHL games that happen around the league. So yeah, comment regardless of the team that you root for. Subscribe regardless of the team that you root for. Also make sure to check out my Twitter, Instagram, and also make sure to check out the Prairie podcast. If you're a CFL fan, I just released a bunch of CFL videos covering the East and West final, where the Ticats and the Ticats and Bombers will be playing in the Grey Cup in Hamilton, so that's going to be a very fun matchup next Sunday on the 12th. Going to be a fun week of hockey. Jets are coming into Vancouver. I hope to be going to that. So yeah, subscribe if you're new. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace, love, and positivity. Have a great rest of your night. Go Jets, go, and bye-bye. And also, screw the Leafs.